So we'll see how many people are here. Hello, good morning. I'm higher vibrations, and so are you. There's a lot of really cool planetary things happening right now. Everything's direct. It stays that way. Everything stays in direct rather than retrograde until April 1st, the day after Easter. There's a lot of cool things that have happened in the celestial bodies overhead that have aligned a lot of really neat things. Before we get too far into that, let's say hello to everyone. I see that there's been chat going on. I'm early. I'm started early, like 6 minutes early. So, Vegan Vixen's first. She says, I'm first. Where are you, Carmen? Laugh out loud. And then I should probably click them, huh? Josie in the house, Fifth Essentials LLC. This is a beautiful channel. If any of you get a chance, check her out. She's got some really beautiful offerings. Hello, Fleur de Lis. Bravo, Vegan Vixen, for being first. Yeah, here's Carmen. Hey, Carmen. He says, no, Vegan Vixen, I'm first. It's so cute. I love watching this first thing happening. So we got Vegan Vixen from Wales, UK. Welcome from the UK. And from Florida is where Josie's calling in from. We have Karma 2780. Excited to catch the live. Send love to everyone from Michigan. Michigan, all right. Hello, Kylie. Kylie is coming in from Southern Oregon. Hi. Hello. Okay, I got to put this up for Carmen. First, Carmen says first. Though Vegan Vixen was clearly first, Carmen, you're always first in my heart, buddy. Hello, Janet. There's so much going on, guys, huh? If you have any questions or have any comments to share in this group of individuals who are having a lot of impactful experiences right now, please feel free, and I'll go through and answer a lot of questions and highlight observations. Good afternoon, Patriot Hero. Good to see you. Mariette says, good evening from Holland. The last days I am full of energy and a light spirit. After a week of flu and feeling tired, big transformation took place. Happy. I'm so happy to hear this from you. I've been noticing this too. This is the popping part. And it's not like it's like something breaking popping, but it's like, I don't know, there's pops of energy bulbs that are coming through. And I'm seeing it too. I'm finding that this is usually my clue to like, okay, now I kind of go quiet. This is where I reflect a lot more. So during this window of time, we have this every year. This happens every year, January, February, and it kind of, how all things in spirit are gradual. So there's a blending period in the middle. There, it doesn't go from red to blue, for instance. There's a mixing of purple in the middle. And so also March, and then February, March is a very activation and April period of time for people, typically every year. Heightened spiritual awareness and spiritual experiences tend to occur more often during this window of time. Many people are already feeling this coming in. Some people are interpreting it as almost like a warning kind of energy, and just to like rest your concerns. This is a global thing that has happened annually, so every single year, whether it's been subtle or it was like, just barely noticeable. Perhaps we assigned a responsibility of this thing happening to something else. I did that. A lot of people that were born in March have done that. I found this to be a really common story for people born in these months, February, March, April, is that many of us assumed it just had to do with the, renewal year, the birthday. I don't tend to celebrate birthday exactly, but for myself, I do find it to be similar to what people do for New Year. It's this moment of reflection. At the moment that I was born, on the minute that the keeping of time says that I was, born so many years before, is the moment where growing up as a young person, that was when you would make a wish. But for me, what I do is I just, I guess, what they do for New Year has to do with like saying you're going to do something, a goal, I can't remember the word because I don't actually do that. I don't say I'm going to change myself, but I am all about seeking and learning and finding new guidance and new information. Hello, Jackie. Good to see you. Carmen keeps saying first. There's a bunch of Patriot Hero was first, and then Vegan Vixen was. This is funny. I love you guys. Leah, it's good to see you, girlfriend. Sending you all so much peace and love in this place that Leah is in. There's been a lot of activity energy wise. I've been seeing these cool ripples. It looks like water, but it's not. It's energy. This is an Australian area in Australia. I won't actually say where you're from, Leah, unless you choose to tell people in the chat here. But it is in Australia, and there are these ripples of energy. They look like waves. Looks like water, and it's doing something over there right now. And so it's been kind of fun to observe from this place while we're also having some other kind of wave. Robin, hello. Good to see you, sweetie. Jackie says sending. Did I collect this? Yeah, I just are from Scotland. All right. Well, thank you for joining us from Scotland. I love Scotland. Robin of the Elves, Vegan Vixen. Are you? I think that I'm sorry, that was a private conversation. Kylie, so incredibly grateful to catch the live at the beginning this time. I'm happy that you were able to join us. Yeah, there's a lot of really awesome energies coming in right now. No headache today. Awesome, Janet. There's been a lot of activation in the cranium and neck, face, throat. This whole area has been a big deal for a lot of people. There's been a lot of focus on symptoms in this area. There's still been a purge. A lot of us are draining out stuff. This has been happening since the warmer months as well. It's just picking up. This is some of that purge. And so often it will lead to a headache kind of experience, though we also find that there's other types of headaches that a lot of us have been having to do with activations in chakra areas. So I'm going to point at the most common ones, the most common chakra activations over the past short time, few weeks, but it's and having to do with the head. So we've got the temples, and so there's this headache that's been right here. Often it's ocular, so it has to do with an eye headache. A lot of third eye kind of pressure and weird stuff. I've been noticing too that the whole series of chakras that go down the center of your hair, your scalp, would be the center of you, right? There's a bunch of chakras here that have been activating all the way down to the back of the neck and to this part before the neck starts, this brainstem region, this area where the neck meets the head has had a lot of activity lately. There's been a lot of guidance with intention to this spot. This area is something I used to call, and I still do actually, the dream chakra, because I hadn't heard a word for it yet, and that made sense to me because when I see how spirit interacts with the physical form, often that's where we enter into our physical form, is this area, kind of like what they do in the movie The Matrix, where they plug you in that spot. Anyway, this area has had a lot of symptoms for a lot of people. People are getting like these boils, like growth stuff, and there's also other stuff that's just a weird rash. I've had this, it's not irritated at all, but I have this red, it looks like a red birthmark that's been there for me for a while, and I don't even know what that's all about, but I do know that we've been clearing this spot for a while. We're meant to bring this stuff in and to speak it, so the light goes straight through in this chakra way. It's like a a corridor. It's like a hallway, or this is a way through. And so I don't really know exactly what that would mean to each of you, but I'm being guided to do that, to take in the light this way and let it and speak it out. Often it's toning. People are doing light language for the first time, different kinds of just helping the motion of this throat chakra being in use. Often we're noticing too that we're pulling in this higher heart energy with it. It's really cool looking. It's just swirly of all these different shades of color because they got teal in there as well. Anyway, so this is part of what this throat activation that people are having. I think I went on a bit of a tangent. I just went on my own little thing there, but the head thing is a big deal. Headaches in like one side or the other. a lot of jaw related stuff. The weird thing about the joint and the jaw, like it's not sore exactly, it just you feel dislocated from your different joints. And then there's this clearing through that's happening on a global way. The lies like a lot, like energetically. Most people, I'll bet anything that most people today, when they're in an area where the sun is shining or something, I bet they've remarked, wow, it looks brighter today, somehow inside themselves or out loud, because it manifests in a physical way. It's not just the way I see things, people see it. So, have you guys noticed this? Carmen says, I do feel the energy around my crown, like ants walking around my face. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah, it does feel tickly. That's the ants. It's not creepy to me. But it does feel kind of like that. I agree. It's tickly. All right. So Sneak 69 is from Canada. My mouth is constantly dry no matter how many fluids I consume. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Sneak. There's a lot going on right now with this. I can't devour enough liquids right now. I'm constantly just drinking something, and like typically lately, which is probably not helping at all. I've been drinking more coffee, and which is a thing because I went forever with not drinking coffee, but this exhaustion is just enough. Like I don't feel like, oh, it's just like I'm just don't want to be awake. Like I'm tired. Like I'm just like the energy is just a little less than normal. Everything's a little more quiet than normal. And so I don't know. It's just this thing that's happening. Um, so as we're bringing this more of this light, let's hurry and finish this before I lose this channel. Is so as this light's increasing, so is the things that we need in order to heal, the things that we need to heal. A lot of these we manifest or we look at like it's a physical thing, like we're talking about I gotta heal like this wound or this broken thing or something that's falling out of alignment in a physical way. And yes, this is correct, and it's focusing or pointing at a spot. However, there's more to this spot. It's always and every moment emotionally based. There's an emotion associated, a thing that needs to be healed in an emotional way is what we mean by emotion here. Emotion, energy, and motion. Energy. These emotions are not supposed to stay, and they've been staying. We've been collecting them because we think we need to hold on to them so we can decide about it, figure it out, and we don't need to figure anything out about this stuff. It's stuff that's moving through, it's stuff that's happened, and that often they need to be felt. So sometimes it's a vision that will prompt an emotional response so it can be had. Not always is it your own past life or an image is the most desirable to see, though it will pop up. So people are having these images pop up. And when this first happens, it's kind of alarming because you're like, do I have PTSD? And there's things that are just coming up naturally in order for an emotion to be felt. The most important part about this is to remember the part that we always forget to do or had always forgotten to do, which is why it's piled up, is to then release it. We do this by not judging it. When we judge something, we're deciding something about a thing. We're saying it's blue or it's red, that it's good or it's bad, it's wet, it's dry, it's this or that. When those things make it stay. Those doing that is how to hold it in place and imprison that energy. When emotion is energy in motion, it is meant to go. That stuff's not supposed to stick around. And so letting this stuff as it comes up and it's being brought forward for it to be felt right now when the light is the most, we're getting the most what we need to heal right at these moments, this crucial corridor space, energy of time that's coming in right now. We're definitely going to continue to get upticks of other types of things that are going to be more apparent that, oh, this thing is coming. What a cool alignment in the celestial heavens. Things like this that show you as signposts on the street so you know where you're at. It just shows you where you're at. It doesn't mean that there's it just lets you know, okay, now you're here. Are you trying to get to this town or are you going the wrong direction? That's all this is. That's all emotions are. Emotions are not meant to be coveted and held onto. And so this is the message about the light that's coming in right now. That's why we have so much of it, because it's like a grand effort on a simultaneous way. Um, Only a few short days ago, we started to activate the entire planet for the first time in unison. I've never once felt us all begin to step up an octave simultaneously with all. Like, it was crazy, because there's usually left foot, right foot kind of action. There's team A, team B, and no one's more important, but it's always been this kind of a thing. And then been the energies of those individuals who were still in slumber, still asleep, still not able to, for one reason or another, digest the information we discuss, and understanding, these things. So now, we just started a few short days ago where everyone is stepping up an octave at the same time. Another way of wording this is that as we evolve in a spiritual way, often we will remark and notice that we're actually merging with our higher self, or a higher aspect of ourself. And then there's a higher self, higher self, higher self, it goes on. And so this isn't something that's like, now it's in completion, happy lines, but like, this kind of a thing is what's occurring. So that's why we're also feeling kind of like we're pulling some energy with us. We're assisting some energies to come with us, because it's not really that we're pulling them. It's just some people are used to going faster in their steps, and so it's really a cool thing, and simultaneous healing, and it's improving and assisting everybody else at the same time. It's really amazing. So while we're doing this, we are going to need more rest. We're going to need more water, more times of reflection if possible, time alone if possible, even if that's just extra bathroom trips. Sometimes that's all we can pull off, or I've noticed I change my schedule based on staying awake when people are asleep, so I can be quiet in myself for a bit, depending on the situation in my life. So that there are ways around it, to have this quiet, alone space, be in your own energy, in intervals. You don't have to do it all the time, of course. Kylie says, does anybody feel the energetic feeling of hurry up and wait? Like something is coming, not bad, just strong and different. Yes. Yes, I am getting this too. And I have been getting it for a while. I bet a lot of people are going to say that they also are feeling it. Yeah. See, Janet says, she says, getting yes. Kylie, patience. And there's a lot of this. That's what I was just talking about. I wonder how long ago you wrote that, where it's just, we are in motion, but we're not used to being in such slow motion. But at the same time, we're doing more than we've ever done, because everybody's coming. And so it's like kinetic energy. It's all, in this way, utilizing kinetic energy in order to stay bonded and unified in this one thriving, breathing organism of light that we all are. It's kinetic energy that we're using. I don't know how that works, but that's what the kinetic energy looks like. So, the places that we cross paths, and usually we cross paths like this, like we connect, and this one goes on and connects to some more, and it's like this kind of, it's like a spider web of energy light. And so, but we're doing at the connections now. There's this kinetic energy, the little reddish orange, that means kinetic energy. So, hello, Eric. It's a lot of really cool stuff going on. Good to see you. Kenny, hello from Portland. All right. Leah, feeling better today. This past week has been hard. Fatigue, body aches, head fog, feeling much better today. Something's popped energy-wise. Yeah, dude. I was singing that song again. Start spreading the news. It's a whole different version of it. Um, it's talking about we're here. We're in New Earth. We're here. And like the words get hijacked with other words. It's so funny, because this is a song that, by the way, little side note, been super download time the past little while, of like a lot of And yeah, March 27th is my birthday. Is that your birthday? I might have missed something somewhere. That's so cool. Is that these downloads I've been getting, it's just really bizarre and crazy. And there's so much happening pointing at this solar eclipse, and this March window. There's just so much download, so much happening. And, a lot of really exciting stuff has been that it's clearing in certain areas. And it's like all of a sudden everyone's becoming extroverted. you know, and I'm finding it a little bit opposite. And it's not that I'm like being bogged down, but I'm finding now I'm starting to like, okay, now it's time to recede inside myself because I'm getting so much. Like the cicada rhythm that's happening. There's a 17-year cycle and a 13-year cycle broods coming at the same time this year, just right after the eclipse, where I'm at in totality of the eclipse. There's just all these different bing, bing, bing points and signals and stuff. But what I was going to ask is anybody know? Does anybody know how Elvis is related to the white rabbit? Because this is something that it just won't stop coming in, and I haven't been able to find reference to it. The only thing I found was this creepy video someone made, and it was an AI of Elvis singing White Rabbit from Jefferson Airplane. So he wasn't, someone created this. But anyway, yeah, so if you guys know what that is, please let me know. Leo says, Melbourne, Australia. Thank you for saying. I've hit a cool picture of the sky. The clouds look like waves. Oh, that's so cool. Got a really cool picture. That's awesome. In this area, the Melbourne area, there's something that's just kind of like popped to the surface a little bit, and then it looked kind of like these waves, these I don't know, it's like percussion waves. Some things are going on in there, being released. And as things are being released, a lot of times they're also being asked to be seen, to just acknowledged. You happened, you existed, and then you can go. Thank you for what you've done. Janet says last week was a doozy. This week, today, finally relief. Yeah, dude. Every planet is in direct. Is there? No one's in retrograde as of last night. Last night was the beginning of the last act story. Remember the last act story that we were talking about? I don't know if this was in the Friday Zoom meeting or if I've mentioned it on a show or something, but is that so Thoth, the Atlantean, who is also known as Mercury, which is the planet Mercury, became conjunct, or it was in conjunction with Aries, divine masculine, or Mars. And I got this vision, and this is the beginning of the last act, and that this Thoth energy actually returns something that was missing from the divine masculine. And as he received this package, it was so cool. This whole thing that went down. And as the divine masculine took the package and he began to hug it up to his chest, like he was grateful to have it. Thank you. Like, have it back. Hooray. Then it started to absorb inside of him and he became complete. And then he went to divine feminine. So then divine feminine, divine masculine were like dancing. And they were super happy and everything was in balance. And it was awesome. And then all of a sudden came this beautiful, brilliant light. And all the light that came through healed and improved all experience here. And that light came from the sun. The sun like showered this beautiful light. Okay, so then I was shown to look at this conjunction series. So then I found out that Mars and Mercury are in conjunction as of last night, 0.12 degrees apart, 12. And then Venus and Mars are in conjunction next on February 22nd. This is an important day, February 22nd. That's the 222 portal day. And so also this is in conjunction of 1/2 degree. And so again, that's 1, 2, 12. It is again. And then the last one is on leap day. It only happens every 4 years. Every 29th or the 29th of February this year is when the Saturn, the dark sun, goes in conjunction and hides behind actually our sun. And this is the visions I was shown. These were the visions I was shown. And then I saw that this was happening. So this is going through, the next couple of days or month, I guess, for our experience. And so we've been feeling the relief of now everything's in direct. And finally, we're on this side. Finally, the story started. Finally, the curtains have opened. The audience has died down. The lights have been faded. And here we are. Like now, here comes the final act. And it's the best act of them all. It's not scary. It's really cool. Jacqueline, hello. Happy Sunday from Southeast Florida. All right. Welcome. Jessica says, totally getting a third eye and crown update. Yeah, there's been a lot of this. And the fact it's like I don't know how many spots. There's 5 at least 5, but probably 7. It's usually that's how it works. That are all down this whole space on the top of our head, like a mohawk row of these chakras. And then within each chakra, you find that there are 7. And then each of the 7, there are 11, and it starts again. And as you go deeper and deeper and deeper in microscopic spiritual understanding way, you then find that you're at the beginning again, and you're looking at the entire universe, though it's a whole different reality. And this is the place where you find that there's like this really cool white eye of light that's not really physical, but this is like God's eye or something. It's really cool. And all you got to do is go in your own chakras to find it, because you are already connected to God. That was a tangent I wasn't planning on going on. Yes, these chakras. And the third eye one is activating for a lot of people. We have this thing where we're moving from 3 cones in our eyes to 4 cones in our eyes. As we get the 4th cone, we then are able to see what we call ultraviolet light. What it actually looks like, it turns out, is that you can just see in the dark. It looks kind of like a purpley, kind of fun little glow light that is like, it makes it so you can see everything. It's all. It's not like you could see those things before. It just, you can see them when there's less light shining on it. And that's happening for a lot of people. We're getting a 4th cone. The cone is the one that helps you with color, and your third eye also has rods and cones in it. And so I would be fascinated to learn if there's an increase in cones in the third eye as well, in the pineal gland. They often reported that the pineal gland was a dumb organ because it didn't seem to have understanding of what it's supposed to do and not do. And it's because it was looking down. They assumed that meant that it didn't know what to do, but it's looking at the most important thing. We have bioluminescence in our bodies. And, Dr. Joe, that's what he studied, it turned out. I didn't know other people knew about that. Like, that's how we do healing. Water flows where light glows. So we go and we bring water to things because light will always go to it. That's why your body swells when when it hurts. When something hurts, something's injured, it swells. And we also put our hand on it to draw the light to it. All these microscopic lights that look like little beams like this in the background. And this is all in our body. It's a whole pathway, and certain organs can light up really brightly, like your heart area. And this is a multi-heart area, by the way, as well. Definitely feel a switch over the last few days. That's cool, Karma. I'm really happy to hear that everyone's feeling it too. I've been in celebration mode, man. This stuff is so killer. Hey, it's 2:22 p.m. Is starting on the last Odin, the end of the other side of the Odin corridor was the January 11th day. And this day we woke up and felt like there were less people here. Like, even though many people still felt like there were a lot of people out doing stuff, they felt empty. They just felt like there weren't as many individuals on the planet anymore. I felt this too. I had nothing to gauge it off of because I am on a mountain, literally, like just me and my kiddo, and like, so, and they're the other people that we shared this space with weren't home. And it just, but I could tell too, yeah, something changed, and it's been changing. I don't know if we can assign any single day for it, for the moment that it happened. Yes, so much upper body energy flow, Kylie. Yeah. And allowing your body to support this with intention, by sending this light to it, guiding it. You can do this in a semi-meditation state. You don't have to be all the way down in trance, but like allowing yourself to like move the energy like you would in a Reiki, right? In Reiki, you would cycle the energy, a give and take, a share. This is a circle that continues and goes. You can have it go any direction, whatever feels correct for you. I'm finding this is the most correct at this time. And this energy movement and motion that's happening is sending the light to a more balanced place. So like distributing the light more evenly, the energy more evenly throughout the entire body, and we tend to emphasize the head as a place where we want to put all the light. And many people understand how much light's needed in the heart, though we do notice that it's the lower body that tends to kind of get forgotten when it comes to this. So if you're finding an imbalance occurring, just cycle this light, and then send it down. Another thing we can do too is above our heads, about a palm's width above our head, there is a chakra that I call the diamond chakra because they told me it was a diamond chakra, but it looked like a diamond. So I don't know what's really called. That's what we call it. It has 144 faces, cuts. So the light prisms 144 times. When the light comes down from God, it prisms out 144 times and then arches down on every direction, in front and behind and on either side of us, and bends down and up through our root chakra and up through all of our chakral system. I just scratched my nose, and then back up again through this whole process. And it turns into a continual movement of energy, these rings all around us, 144 of them, 144 colors. And this will assist you in that's what it's called, the toroidal field. We all have it. That when we do this with intention, when we give it a clear color, so it's not so blendy with like other colors, it helps it be in more alignment, and we're cycling it. So as we cycle the energy, then we're finding that the things that need to go where they need to go there naturally on their way. And so this is a way to really assist yourself, and it's so simple, so easy to do, and there's really not a lot of extra, I need to figure out where it should go kind of thought, because it just goes where it needs to go. So Robin of the Elves, I just love your name, Robin. That's such a cool name. The last week I felt like I was in a Pac-Man game, kept getting redirected / moved all over the board with multiple big decisions moving forward. Very humbling, but learning to trust. That's a really awesome result. Pardon me. Learning to trust, I would say, is like one of the most emphasized things that we've had come up with a lot of different individuals over the very short window of time recently. And trust is often not found as easily because we don't realize that we have lack of trust in self. We've been conditioned to not believe in our own sanity regarding the knowing of all of this stuff that you can't ignore, but we tried, and often over and over again, just stop listening to yourself, not listening to your own inner guidance, not trusting yourself. There's like the word gaslight, being gaslit, like by, perhaps medical professionals or individuals that, were convinced there was something else going on. And now we've continued to use that programming to diminish self. The more that we can trust ourselves and just, feel into it, man, you can feel when it's a divinely guided energy that's coming through. You can tell, like, if something will feel very disruptive if it's not in alignment, with what's going on with you and what you're meant to be in at that time. Yes, Anna, lots of water, lots of water. There's so much need for water right now. I've been finding too that more of us have been interacting with water more often as well. Swimming, bathing, foot soaks. There's lots of stuff about water right now. Just really, so just anything that you feel drawn to do, allow yourself to engage in that. I found, like even doing dishes can be fun, like there's a lot of drawn to the water, but in particular, hydration. That's something else too. I know that water is a conductor. Yeah, I'm so glad Janet said. I didn't actually comment before. Yes, it's so bright, brilliant. It is really bright. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, that other people can see it too. There's so much more light coming in right now. It's crazy. Hi, Ralph. Hi, Milas. Love from Scotland. I love you. Oh, love to Anna. Love you, girl. There's a lot happening with this water as a conductor of soul. We use this. A lot of people will realize that they can channel, that they can connect with the higher realms of energy a lot easier when interacting with or engaged with water in some way. A lot of people will notice that they're doing the dishes and all of a sudden they start channeling, or they're in the bath or in the shower or sitting on a bowl of water in the bathroom. Like there's a lot of these kind of reports throughout our lives. If you think back, you'll see this. And so if you use this spiritual conductor with intention as a tool that it is, then you can increase your results if you're looking for answers, if you're wanting to connect in a very clear and specific way with your higher self, with your guides and stuff, to do it in a safe way, interacting with the water. I know a lot of people will do the foot soak thing, and so it's a really common thing. Trina, hi Mila. Lots of vibrating last few days, not getting enough sleep. I keep moving the body, hydrating, grounding, breathing, and being. Oh, I love it. Helps. Loving and forgiving. Yes. Allowing ourselves to maintain a grateful heart and being in gratitude for the things that are happening for us really draws more of it. It really does. Breathing and being and just in love and forgiving and just, yes, thank you. Gratitude. A lot of these things we assign as like, this is like, because it's inconvenient to feel discomfort. It's inconvenient to be vibrating. This vibrating thing is a really common thing that's happening for a lot of individuals right now. I would say that there's probably more reports of people talking about vibrating that I would have ever have guessed. So early, it's not even February yet. So uh, feeling the vibration of your own uh, atoms is pretty cool. And we're starting to be able to understand yourself on a higher way. There's in a higher energy way. There's when we're in this type of vibrating that you shifted over into, it seems, Trina, it feels to me like it's more of you're now able to perhaps work some more intentionally with your Merkaba or your tetrahedron energy. And there's a lot of different ways to look up things about this. I can, if I remember, if you remind me, if you send me a message and remind me, I'll send you some information regarding this. This will help. And so, noticing your vibrate, there's a couple different things, So, the vibrating sometimes is the energy that's doing this. We have energy coming up and up this way too. It's up. I don't know why this is up, but up is up and up is up. So anyway, energy is going like this. It's like we're the conduit of energy, right? And so it's moving. And so as it's moving through us, there's a little bit of resistance. There's things that it's getting caught up on for a second. So it vibrates. We notice that our core vibrates. Sometimes it's due to um, it caught up for a little bit has to do with our frequency that we're keeping. Some of us will know that our frequency isn't usually like this is where we are and like we're just going straight up. We tend to do something more like this, but we're increasing. We are making progress. This is just how energy works. And so as you're getting up to this spot, you will find that you're able to connect to this higher frequency. And so this motion starts to occur, but then there's also this other little bit resistance. And so it's kind of like you're coming in and out of a higher dimensional reality. It's not scary. It's really cool. It's just a weird feeling in your body when you can feel it vibrating. This is core vibration. And then when it comes to your entire body, the vibrating starts to be really noticeable. This is actually noticing the motion of your atoms and stuff that I've been starting to get too. Like, it's really crazy because when you can start to actually identify the motion that your body's making, then hypothetically speaking, you can then shift those atoms, right? And so, whoa, that's a whole different thing right there. Hi, Josie. Yes, I feel the detox, sleep, bliss, indifference. Yeah, dude, indifference. That's a good word to use. Been feeling a lot of this kind of like, it's not like there's love, man. It's a y'all got all the love. You got the love. And I'm just going to be over here being happy, and like, it's whatever, if you're in my bubble at that time, right on, cool. Like, what do you think of the bubble? And and then we move on, and then the bubble separates, and it's all good. There's no hard feelings. I'll see you again when my bubble comes back around again, and we there used to be this whole like you're supposed to like check in on people and stuff, and they're busy too. The whole world's doing a whole upgrade all at the same time. So I've been finding this too. At first, I thought I was being a bitch. I felt for a second because that was the word I gave myself. Was I was like, oh, I'm just I mean, I love these people, but I'm like connecting with them telepathically. And I'm just like download mode, and it's like, but yeah, indifference is really a powerful tool. Yeah, it really is. Lemon water and passion fruit, says Carmen. That's a really great idea. Carmen's the juice boy. He knows what he's talking about. He also says orange, green apples, celery. Yeah, some of this, and pineapple and cucumber. Pineapple, I like that combination. I actually really do. There's a lot of really useful things to help yourself. So drink only filtered water with an occasional herb tea. Yeah, I am very specific on my water also. My water needs to be very clean, and just there's that's me and my kid. I find that if it's not, we just don't drink it. And that's not good. It's not like I'm not going to drink it. Just like you take a sip when you have to. That's not what my body wants right now. My body wants water that's clean and a lot of it. Hypersensitivity and itchies. I can't even wear my hair down. It irritates me, says Josie. Yeah, dude. I've been noticing, I don't know how much I've been touching my face just in this really short. I've only been on for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. But yeah, I just, these little ticklies, and just like, and Carmen said earlier too, it felt like little ants kind of moving around on your body. A lot of this salt, taken in salt, Celtic salt, I've been hearing a lot about. Um, I said that funny. I've been hearing a lot about Celtic salt. I'm not sure, um, but I think I've heard that it's like a higher frequency, or that's what people are saying. Um, I usually use pink Himalayan salt. That's what I've been using for some time, and I just haven't gotten outside of that yet. But homeopathic cell salt. Oh, there's salt again, Jessica. Homeopathic cell salts help with electrolytes, lights, and thirst. So what I've been doing with the salt is you put just a tiny little bit on like underneath my tongue before I drink water, and it actually really does help me. It really, really does. I find, oh, here we go, Jessica, or a pinch of Celtic sea salt. There you go. Thank you, Jessica. Yeah, I haven't. I really ought to get some of that. Anyone with throat pain. So there's been a lot of throat stuff going on. There has been a lot of reports about this. Josie, I don't know if anyone's written about it yet in here. This throat chakra thing that's been happening. And I don't know if this was earlier. I was talking about this. I'm being guided to like send this light back through, like that place where this is my neck, this is the back of my head, that spot kind of right there, pulling the light through that dream chakra space and out through the front. And it ends up being like a triangle. So it's like a lot of space. This is a clearing of the throat. And there's a lot of symbolism and things that they've been showing about like Aslan and the lion and the roar and the golden white and all this stuff. So just letting this out so it can melt 100 winters, right? And, another symbolism of it is like 100 lifetimes of silence are being broken and spoken, and right now it's just starting, really. Yeah, so there's a lot of really cool vegan vixen, Celtic gray sea salt is amazing. So there's a lot of different examples about this. It's really cool. Jackie says, my hair is so dense, very fine, changing color from brown to white. Wow. It's really amazing when you find that your hair is changing. A lot of people talked about having issues with seeming to notice some hair loss issues. Never, females not having any family relation. It's just a thing that was happening. I know that my hair's growing a lot slower than it usually does. By now it's usually down to my butt, and I cut a couple of feet off of it or something, but it's still, in my opinion, it's still short. It's taken 2 years to get it from here to here. It's like really strange. Lynn says, hey, Mila, lots of dizziness last 2 days, but also lots of fun. Good. I'm really happy to hear you're having a lot of fun. There is a lot of dizziness. I've been noticing it more too. The way that I feel it, I don't feel like I'm dizzy enough that I'd fall over. I just feel like I'm trying to figure out where gravity is, sort of, if that makes any sense. Like it does feel like we've moved into some other place. And it's like, where's the floor? Where's the floor? So there's a question here from Brandon. An invisible counterintelligence for close encounter to Hawaii. What's up, Starseeds? Hello. I'm sure there's some kind of a disclosure that's been had. There's a lot of disclosure going on right now. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us, Brandon. A lot of disclosure going down, a lot of information being brought forward. I'm really excited that it's people are finally getting to like be told about this stuff. There's going to be a lot more coming through. I wonder what that's about. Yes, sore throat, says Fleur de Lis. A lot of sneezing too. Yeah, a lot of weird stuff with the throat. Um, there's I mean, let's see if there's any more about the throat here, because I feel like there's a lot going on with this. And so far, that's the only other comments I saw. So with this throat chakra open activation and opening that's happening, it has to do a lot with this higher heart too. So the higher heart is just at the base, like so, like your clavicle, you know, the little the shoulder. I don't remember what these are called from, but it's it's called clavicles. The little bones here, just at the base here, this little button right here, that spot, the end of your throat. This is kind of where your higher heart lives, is kind of like how you can kind of get an idea of where you're talking about. So it's where you're talking about. And so this whole area has been really, it had a lot of activation that needed to happen. And also there has been a lot of things occurring with the mucus and the draining seasonally, not seasonally at all, like having to do with having in the happening in the summer as well as the autumn and the winter. Talking to people who were in their summer climate areas, having issues about this still. I know a lot of the download I was getting about it when I first started to ask about it was that it assists people. It activates a multiple series of things while we're doing it. We're draining out toxins or things that have been in our bodies for some time or whatever that was in alignment before, and we're raising our frequency up above that. And as we do this, and our DNA, our dormant DNA that used to be called junk DNA, the dormant DNA starts coming online, and we start to find Carmen, and you're so, he's going on about, he's got so many different other things. So all this dormant DNA is coming online, and it's also bringing into frequency and alignment all of the things that we're already meant to do, right? And so it's draining out all the things that are no longer in alignment with us that maybe weren't once were. So you could call it previously team body, when now maybe it's not in alignment with you anymore. And so we're purging these things. It's not just through the mucus, it's through the acne-like stuff, the weird sweating, the weird skin stuff a lot of people have been talking about, even rashes and things like that coming through on the skin as a result of this purging. And also a purging as in frequent bathroom trips has been an example that's been talked about. So as we're doing this, not only are we purging this mucus stuff that's been in our system for some time, we're also activating the series of chakras that are in alignment with coughing. You have all of the heart chakra areas, the throat chakra, the third eye, the crown. It's all in activation when we cough. So it's also like kind of like the choke on a motor, the of a like lawnmower, you know, kind of thing happening. A lot of crazy stuff just all happens at the same time. Nothing, I find that everything that happens, spirit does, uses it for all of it. You know, it's like the idea there's never anything that goes to waste, never any energy that goes to waste. You know, when something occurs, there's like 15 things that are then accelerated and changed and shifted and assisted by that occurrence. It's really cool. God is multidimensional. I totally agree, Jason. Yeah, that's right, Trina. Good. Yeah, you're welcome. There's a lot of really cool things happening. Jackie asked if I'm a Pisces. I'm an Aries, but I feel like I belong in the Pisces. I always have felt that, but then people finding out that I'm an Aries usually go, "Oh, of course you're an Aries." But you know, I think that I don't resonate with any one particular anything. Is kind of how it goes. Janet says, even the cicadas are coming to the party. Yeah, exactly. Even they are coming. It's really amazing. There's going to be so much happening. So much happening over the next couple of months. A lot of really cool stuff. Um, Leon asked about a Zoom meeting. We do Zoom meetings every Friday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. I guess that's 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We did shift the time of when we do it, because I changed time zones. And so it was becoming difficult to do it as late as we were doing it, because before I was in Pacific Standard Time. So every Friday you'll see the link. We did do it last week. It was really interesting too. Elsa joined the Zoom meeting last Friday, and it was really fun. We had a lot of code come in, and that code didn't stop, by the way. That's like, oh my goodness, so much is happening. As a result, we started to chase this whole Elvis thing. And like, for some reason, all of these little kids that are like born post 2012 are, not obsessed, but really enjoy Elvis. And there's all this Elvis reference that they're bringing up, in the White Rabbit. And it's like, how is Elvis and the White Rabbit associated? I don't understand how they're associated with one another, but I'm supposed to figure it out. And while we were on this journey, oh, cool, you're 38 on March 27th. That's awesome. Yay. Same birthday. Yeah. It's going to be a crazy birthday this year, just because we're in with the energy that we're in, right? So anyway, then we ended up on down this little rabbit hole, and the kiddo was kind of guiding it. And I posted some of the pictures on Facebook, and I believe on Telegram as well. I haven't done Telegram yet. I'll have to post some of these up. But it was really crazy. So turns out we live near to the town where Elvis got his haircut when he was in the Army Reserve, or when he joined the Army back in his early career. So we went there because my daughter's like a big Elvis fan, and there's this whole thing about White Rabbit, and she keeps going on about it. And then there's this, just on the corner right there, tattoo parlor called the White Rabbit Tattoo or something like that. So it's like and this whole thing about the Matrix, and where how Neo even hooks up with the Trinity energy was because, she said, follow the White Rabbit, and there's a White Rabbit tattoo on this lady's shoulder. And this whole thing, and the whole Alice in Wonderland reference just hasn't stopped. I've had some conversation with Elsa and Stacy kind of on the side, in conversation and messaging. It just hasn't stopped, guys. It just hasn't stopped. Why did I talk all about that? That was some cool stuff, though. But anybody know anything about Elvis and the White Rabbit, and like how I'm supposed to know? I would really appreciate that. This is a fun game. Jessica. Oh, hey, we should talk about the fog before. You kind of mentioned something here, but I don't think that's what you meant. Man, that makes sense with us seeing in the dark. I've noticed that at night for me. Oh, really? Cool. Yeah. See, that's another cone. We can see in the dark. It's not like all of a sudden you're like, and I would say that probably colors got to be a different vibrance. I would assume. I don't perceive. It doesn't seem like everything looks so awesome these days and so pretty, and like everything has an energy resonance around it. Fog. I want to talk about fog because this is a download that was kind of important. Is in 2020 we started getting these fires where we were living. There was a lot of smoke in the air. The sun was dark enough, or covered up with enough smoke you could look right at it, and it was like this dark orange ball in the sky. We started to like get this weird light code. They gave me the download then. The smoke is being utilized to deliver this light code that was needed by us. And then and the other side of it is now that all of a sudden there was this fog, and it was, as it was coming through and interacting with me, it was telling me it was doing the same thing that the other thing was doing, that the smoke was doing 4 years ago. Is it's bringing in now this, well, I guess 3.5 years ago, is bringing in the other side of it. Is the water. First it was the fire, then it's the water, and the water is the fog. And the fog is bringing in this light code and assisting people, and is going to help more people. I had no idea that the whole side of the country was being swept by this fog. I thought it was just where I was at. And I was having a conversation with this fog. It's the most, excuse me. Sorry about that. It's the most crazy sounding thing probably, but it's really legit. Like, it was a cool conversation. So neat. There's been so much coming through about all this. Hey, I see Elsa's here. Good morning, Elsa. I'm way behind on all the comments. Good morning. I'm happy to see that you're here. I wonder how much you heard. I'm curious. Oh, okay, so much fog as it settles in us. May cause discomfort. Much extra assist body to heal. Shift out of us. Greens, charcoal, water, oil, salt. Thank you. Yeah, dude, that's so cool that I was just talking about the fog and I saw you here. Stacy's here too. Hello. She says, heart, laugh out loud, heart, laugh out loud. So apparently you wrote something here. Oh, yay, Mila, sweetheart. Hello. Wow, yeah, I'm really behind on my comments here, aren't I? Hey, Path 88, in the winter, far beneath the snow, lies the seed that with the sun's love in the springtime becomes the rose. I love that. I really messed up the pattern of it. It's beautiful though. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, yes. Hair irritates ants, Carmen. Yes. This is so much fun. It's so good to see everybody playing in this virtual world right here. Nothing's wrong, vegan. You'll experience bliss in your time. It's right. I think I must have missed a comment from Vegan Vixen. This is all coming in when it's meant to come in forward. And sometimes it does feel here it is. And sometimes it does feel like that we've got left behind, but we don't. I don't feel any bliss or excitement, only anxiety. What is wrong with me? A lot of people are having this. I was actually very surprised, happily surprised to see how many people are feeling the bliss part. Because typically it's just me feeling the good stuff. And then like I had to do this whole like healing thing or being okay with saying that I'm doing great when other people aren't, because I don't want to be like a brag. I don't want to like, haha, and that's not what I'm doing it for. I'm bringing the love and the joy when people could use it the most, and so I am surprised happily how many people are having such a positive experience right now, especially based on how many people have reported to me that they're struggling through email and other type of correspondence. So for your reassurance, Vegan Vixen, a lot of people are still struggling, but this is the best part because we're getting brought in so much extra light right now that this can be resolved as it comes. As the moments of anxiety pop in, we realize that they're not attached to us at all, that we don't have to own them anymore, that it's energy in motion, emotion. It's meant to go. It's not meant to stay around, and so as it comes in, we can release it with gratitude and goodbye, you know, just I'm happy to see you go and thank you for helping me get to this point, and we don't have to be like, unkind about it, but it definitely is saying, I'm done. I'm done connecting to this energy, and once we realize that it's not really our stuff, when we used to think that it was our stuff that we had to hold on to, once we realize it's no longer our obligation or responsibility, it's so freeing. It takes a little while to get past the 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 whole brain thing with having to be like, oh, I did this to myself this whole time. Is that real? And all of that weird stuff. We can just skip to the good stuff and be like, release. I'm done. I remove my connection, my consent to all things that are not in alignment with my highest joy and my highest good. All other things not intended for my highest joy and highest good are not invited into my bubble, into my world, into my realm. Use your words with commanding love and grace, and it will happen. It will happen. They are, when you use your mom voice, not the, oh, cutie, come snuggle with me mom voice, but the, you've been going to bed for 4 hours mom voice, or just like, I'm done, that voice. But it's also with love because you love your child. And there's a balance there and I'm a dad voice, I'm sure too. This is just, that's my experience. Um, using this energy to declare your space is incredibly empowering. There are no bad guys and good guys. There are energies that are not in alignment with me at this particular moment or that particular moment, and we're finding more and more that we are actually more of a unified breath than we ever realized in this now moment, not in some higher realm kind of far away place, but right now. It's just that we're doing it on autopilot in most cases. Josie says, yes, I love Highland cell salts. I use the combination. There's a lot of really cool things to do with salt, and there's a lot more coming in about how it's so important. I remember when my daughter was an infant, and I was getting pamphlets from the doctor telling me that salt was bad for her. And I remember being like, what? Like, how is salt? What? You shouldn't let a child have salt until they were a year old. And what? Like, it's so, and how many people just accepted that readily. Okay, I won't give my baby salt until their brain won't grow, or whatever. That's a mineral that is a necessary mineral in our diets for our bodies to be able to, and we lose extra salt when we sweat. And what are we doing right now? We're sweating out this weird stuff. So we're using the the hair follicles or the pores in our body, all over our entire body, as a means of removing the stuff that's not serving our body anymore, carried on the vessel of sweat. So we're cycling the need for more salt, more than you would probably typically need to. So just keeping that in mind. Elsa says, sore throat, sore ears, stiff neck, mainly on one side. And we are upside down on the other side of the globe, right? Exactly. Elsa's example. She's over in Australia where it is summertime. And they're having these same things. Because we used to remember, we've called this like the cold season, and it's a cold, you know, there's a lot more happening behind the whatever than we probably have any idea about. Oh my gosh, guys, I had no idea there were so many more comments. I've got really, really behind, didn't I? I love all of you. Thank you all for coming. There's so much. Let me see if, okay, I saw Elvis's name. Oh, hello, Elsa. Elvis, King of Hearts, King of Hurts, King of Rock and Roll, Tar and Spin, Guitar, Tar. That's okay. Okay, I've gotta hurry in. Um, so Hurts, yeah. Okay. Any more? Let's see. I gotta find this, don't I? I forgot about the Elsa or the Elvis question. Royal Way, Royal Lore, Zero, Crossroads. This is a huge confirmation. Yeah, dude. There's so much stuff that I had posted to a few people. I posted I think I gave some to Elsa, and I put some on the Telegram or on to Stacy. We had a lot of really weird code come in yesterday. There's some stuff that, man, I'm so far behind that I can't even see if anybody's commented on the questions that I asked. That's so silly of me. Well, yes, come to Telegram is a good answer for anybody that would like to connect with others. There's a whole bunch of us out here, in the Telegram. I think that there's like 140, something like that, people in the Telegram group. There's a link to that in the description of this video in the YouTube, and when it shows up on Facebook, I think that it just gives the description, and like this whole all the stuff that I wrote is like at the beginning. In there's a link to our Telegram group. It's a free group. It's considered private because you need the link to get to it. It's just a bunch of people all over the planet, who are awake and having experiences. And because it's all over the planet, it's cool. You can typically find somebody awake, so that's pretty neat. I lost a lot of the things that I was going with because, Fleur de Lis, thank you so much. That's so generous of you. 1111. Wow, thank you so much. There's a lot. Oh, by the way, I should tell you all. So all this stuff's lining up for where we're at. I knew we were supposed to be right here for the eclipse. I didn't know that back when I was first given this, that during the near-death experience when I was 14, excuse me, we've got the stuffy nose thing going on. I knew that I was supposed to be over here by my birthday. And back then, I didn't know that there was an eclipse. I didn't know any of this stuff. And it's really cool to see all these things pointing at this exact location on the map. So this is also where the Great American Eclipse has a crossover. It crosses with the 2017 eclipse that occurred. The cicadas are all waking up, or at least two of the broods are waking up simultaneously right after it. There's just a lot of things that a lot of people, a lot of energies and individuals are suddenly moving into this area and just building up in this place. The important part that I wanted to bring up about this is that we are having, by the way, a gathering here for anybody who wants to come to our party. It's $144 for the 4 days. If you want to be here longer, there's a ticket you can buy that's like $222 for like, I think 12 days, or something like that. I don't remember what I did. Maybe it's 10 days. Anyway, it's camping out here in the North Ozark area of Boonville, Arkansas. It's like you would count this as the roots of the mountain. This is a very sacred and energy place. There's a lot happening at that time. The big download that I got about it was remembering to be in a place of meditation during this eclipse, to use the energy as it's happening for your benefit with the intention of what you have presented or you're presenting at that time. And so not to say don't look at it, but there's definitely code that was shown to me that I was surprised, linked me to the Bible. In the book of Revelation 13, it told us about this. And it's talking about, allowing yourself, you can look at it, but it's also, if you can't be here, be someplace to gather in a group of any kind that you can, if possible, and meditate. And so we can use the energy to uplift this frequency and to say, I pick this. This is my choice. I have a cat that's trying to get in the window. It's so funny. And so just keeping that in mind, that is as April 8th, local time. It starts around 12:30. I think it peaks around 1:30 or so. And so then that's on the 8th, which I believe is a Monday. We're having our gathering starting on the 4th. There is a link in the description of this video to take you to that. If you want to grab a ticket, those tickets are going to be on sale until St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, because we want to have enough time to know how many people are coming, because we're providing meals for 3 of the days. There'll be a breakfast and a lunch, a lunch and a dinner. So, and then some light breakfast options too. So anyway, anyone who's interested, you can grab a ticket from there. Or, wherever you're at. I know this eclipse goes across 3 countries. It goes through Canada, through America, through the US, as well as through Mexico. And so this whole North America is all getting the eclipse energy. There's a lot pointing at this too, that the P12 comet will be so close at that time to the sun that we won't be able to see it during the daytime until the eclipse happens, and you'll see it right next to the sun. It'll be really cool. So pardon me, there's just a lot going on. So if any of you have the chance and want to come around and come join our little party, we'll have a microphone. There's a live band on I believe Saturday night. That's like a professional band and a local professional band. It's going to be a lot of fun. Then there's going to be other people going up and doing light language and music and all kinds of stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you do choose to come, make sure you grab your ticket before St. Patrick's Day, before March 17th. Again, that's so we can count heads and know the amount of supplies that I need to purchase. So anyway, I need to get going. It's 3:03 p.m. in the Central Standard Time. And man, the sun is finally shining brightly. So I want to be out in it. I love you all so much. Thank you all for joining. Sending you so much love. You got this. If you're struggling, if you're having a hard time in this energy right now, just give it a little bit longer. Know that you're being guided together. We're all doing this together. And so there's no being left behind. There's no concern, no difficulty. So allow yourself the grace you would give anyone else of the time that you need to rest, to, take a minute to yourself and to be in your own energy space. I love you. Aho blessings.